Hi, in this video, I am going to explain a lot about Arduino. Starting from what is Arduino, why Arduino, who can do it, where to buy it, which one to buy, cost of the board, various boards and sensors available from Arduino, and hardware identification and downloading of software, and some sample projects and codes. This video is going to be very interesting, so make sure to watch the video till the end. So by the end of this video, I hope you will be in a good position to start working on Arduino yourself. So the very first question is, what is Arduino? So this is one of the Arduino circuit board and it is the most popular one. It's called Arduino Uno. The name of the board is written over here. The board is beautifully designed and I love this board and I am sure you will love it as well when you get it one. So the second question is, what can we do with this board? We can build an electronic projects with this board, not a simple project, but an interactive project. The cool thing is, you can write a program in your computer and then you can load it into this board by using the USB cable. There is a microcontroller in this board which make things even more interesting. You can easily connect various sensors, lights and motors to it, or you can even make a simple robot out of this. So what kind of projects you can really make? You can make hundreds of electronics projects as a hobby or as a real-time projects to use it in your day-to-day life. It sounds amazing, right? Yes, you can make your own projects and then you can use it for your own purpose. This is how you can connect the board with this computer through USB cable. And after you load the program, you can disconnect this cable. And then you can power this board using the 9-volt adapter. And the power jack is available here. Or else you can power it using 9-volt battery like this. I'll show you some of the sensors which you can connect. You can connect infrared sensors, or you can connect temperature and humidity sensor like this, or you can connect a motion sensor like this, or you can connect ultrasonic sensor like this, or you can connect water level indicator, or you can connect 7-segment display. You can connect stepper motor like this, or you can connect servo motor like this, and then you can connect LEDs if you want, and then you can connect photoresistor like this. So there are much more to it. I will explain it in few minutes. So the next question is, who can make this kind of projects? Do you need technical background or not? If you are from a technical background, then believe me, it's a dream come true. You can control your electronic components just by writing a code. If you are not from technical background, then also no worries. The whole thing is easy to learn and that's the best part of it. Let's take a step back here. Before I go ahead, I wanted to give you some more background about Arduino. Arduino is a name of the company. They design and manufactures the circuit boards. I will use Legos in my presentation and let's assume this is the company. Some of the Arduino circuit boards which I have are Arduino Nano, Arduino Uno and Arduino Mega. So these are good circuit boards available from Arduino which I have. Every Arduino board contains a microcontroller in it. So in this board, this is the microcontroller and this one and this one. The microcontroller is a tiny computer which runs small and simple software programs. It processes very fast, consumes very less power. If you are running on a battery, then the battery can last for days or even months. The company Arduino also develops a software to program on all these microcontrollers. Overall, the company Arduino have made it easy to use microcontroller in our projects. Moving on to next, the company Arduino has open sourced their design, meaning any third-party company can copy their design and then they can make their own variants of the board and then they can also sell it. Technically, Arduino's original board and third party's board would function the same and it will also look similar. So you as a user, you can buy Arduino's original board or from third-party company's board. The choice is yours. Third-party company's board would cost little less compared to the original board. So some sample projects you can make are like you can make a remote control car as a toy, or you can make any sort of games, or as a real-time project you can make a robotic arm to do some particular task for you, or you can make a remote to control fans in your house, or you can make an automatic light to turn on during the night and turn off during the day, or you can make a home security system. You can open the door lock using the access card or using the fingerprint. If you have a plant, you can water your plant on a daily basis automatically. Or if you have a fish in your house, you can make an automatic fish feeder. Like this, you can make a lot of small interesting projects in your house. Arduino is also a user community. By the way, if you like my presentation and video, don't forget to hit a like button and subscribe for more unique, interesting arts and craft video and technical videos like this. Let's quickly compare all these three boards. So the first thing is the size of the board. Nano is small, Uno is medium, and this one is big. And the second thing is the component and layouts are different in each of these board. And the third thing is Nano doesn't have a power jack, but the Uno contains power jack. Mega also contains power jack. It is easy to power this board using an adapter or a battery. So to power this board you have to connect to a power pin separately. And the next difference is with number of pins. Nano contains 22 digital input and output pins, Uno contains 14 pins, and Mega contains 54 pins. So these are the pins available in Uno. You can see in Nano, in Mega you have so many number of pins. So if you are working on a project which needs a lot of pins, then you can go for Arduino Mega. Otherwise you can just use Arduino Uno itself. And then the difference is with the memory. These two boards contains 32 KB memory, and this board contains 256 KB memory, meaning you can load a big program with lots of code. Otherwise the speed of the boards are same. And there is an inbuilt LED in pin number 13, which you can use it while practicing or while creating a prototype. Here you can see the entire specification of the boards. I will explain more about this board because this is the very good board if you want to start working on Arduino. And you can find lots of videos in YouTube if you need any help. This one is a microcontroller which is like a brain of this board, and then there is a power LED here. When you connect a power supply you will see the LED is glowing, and then there is a reset button here in case if you want to start the program from the beginning. While it is running you can press this button. You can connect this USB cable and then you can easily load the program, and then you can disconnect this. When you are connected to computer you don't need to connect one more adapter or battery, because the board gets power supply from the computer itself. And when you disconnect it, that time you have to connect an adapter or the battery. And this is how you can attach the adapter as I shown previously. These are digital pins, pin number 1 to 13. You can easily configure these pin as input or output. Digital pin means it will be either in on state or off state. When it is on it will have 5 volts, when it is off it will have nothing, it will have 0 volt. So if you want to connect LED or motor or any other component you can use the digital pins. And these are TX and RX. It is used to receive data from GPS, Bluetooth or Wi-Fi for example. And then you have one ground pin here. And these are analog pins, A0 to A5. These are used to measure voltage from 0 to 5 volts. And you will be able to connect lot of sensors here. And then you have ground pin and then 5 volt and 3 volt and reset. So the operating voltage is 5 volt. So you have this power regulator. If you connect 9 volt adapter, it will get stepped down to 5 volt by this IC. And another thing is you can buy a small module like this. This is so beautiful as well. There are so many modules available in this project. So this one is the stepper motor module. If you want to run this stepper motor, you can easily connect to the module. And this module can be connected to the board, and then you can easily run stepper motor with less number of codes. If you want to control various sensors, there are so many modules available in the market which you can buy and connect to. Further, if you want to know all the available circuit boards from Arduino, then simply go to Arduino's official website, which is arduino.cc. It will take you to the home page where you can see latest updates from Arduino. You can go to hardware section to see all the available boards from Arduino. So you can see boards from entry level to advanced level. You can scroll down to see all the available boards. I have showed you Arduino Uno, Arduino Nano, and then Arduino Mega, which is available here. Further, if you want to know more about the boards, then simply click on the board. It will open up more detail about the board, including technical specification like operating voltage, recommended voltage, digital input and output pins, analog pins, current rating, memory, all the things you need to know about the board. You can buy the board from this website, or to buy the board simply go to Amazon or eBay website, whichever country you are in. I'll go to amazon.com, which is US website, just for your reference, and then just type Arduino Uno and hit enter. You will get the search results, and this is the Arduino board. This is a third-party company's Arduino board. The brand name is Elegoo. They are selling the board along with the cable, and they are selling it for $15. If you scroll down, and this is the Arduino's original board, and they are selling it for around $20. They are not selling the cable. So the choice is yours which one to buy. Either you can buy third party's board, or you can buy Arduino's original board. Third party board costs $5 less compared to Arduino's original board. But technically they both should function the same, so you can buy any board. Again, if you just buy the board, you have to buy various components separately, like components like sensors, motors, LED, resistors, and then breadboard, and then wires. So instead of buying all those things separately, I will highly recommend you to buy a starter kit like this, wherein you will get various components handy to start working on the projects immediately. But in this kit I can't find an adapter. Without an adapter, if you want to run the board, you always need to connect this board with the computer using this data cable. If you want to disconnect the board from the computer and still you want to run it, then you definitely need an adapter. So I will recommend you to buy a starter kit with the adapter. So let me scroll down and show you a starter kit with the adapter. Let me keep scrolling down, and then there you go. So this particular kit contains an adapter, and they are also selling keypad, and you will find additional component compared to the previous starter kit. But the cost is little bit high. It is around $53, and this one is $28. But you will have less component in it. You don't have an adapter. So I will recommend you to buy starter kit with the adapter, because you also get additional component. Don't worry about the brand and then these text. Don't try to match it with this video when you are trying to buy. As long as you have Arduino board and then adapter, you can go for it. You can buy it. So let me click on it, and then I'll show you what all component it contains. It has so many components. It is really a magical kit. So you can see resistors and joystick. You have this LED display, and then keypad, and then jumper wires, and then data cable, adapter, ultrasonic sensor, some ICs, LCD display, and then you have temperature control sensor, infrared control sensor, and then motion sensor, and some module, and then power supply, mini breadboard, and then Arduino board itself, and then you have access card, and then the fob key. You have infrared remote, stepper motor, DC motor, servo motor, water level indicator, LED, capacitors, and then buttons, CD with lots of sample codes, and then you also get a breadboard. And the whole kit will come in a box like this, which is super cool. So if you scroll down, you will be able to see more about this product. And once you get this kit, literally you will be able to start working on the projects yourself like this. It's so amazing. Now I will show you the starter kit which I have purchased. It's Arduino Mega. It's really a nice kit. I have purchased Arduino Uno board separately, Arduino Nano board separately, which I have showed you. This is how the box is looking like. It's really nice. Let me quickly open this box and then I'll show you how it looks like. On the top you have all the pictures of the component and then the name. This is LCD module. Then there is 7 segment. This one is the stepper motor module. You can connect stepper motor with this. Then you can connect it with the Arduino board. This is the servo motor. These are its wings. And then you have a joystick. You can make a game, for example. This you have this LED module, and then you have this motion sensor, sound sensor. You have this fan. This is the ultrasonic sensor. This infrared sensor. You can control your device using infrared easily. Relays. You can control high power devices with this. And then you have a potentiometer, and you have some more sensors. Then you have humidity and temperature sensor. And then you get this box with LED and capacitors, diode, transistors, and some buzzers, and some IC and switches, some diodes, and then photoresistors, etc. handy to start working on project. Tiny breadboard, the normal standard breadboard. You can connect this power supply into the breadboard. You can power it using this 9-volt battery. Or you can connect to a 9-volt adapter. Then you can build any circuits. You have a power pin here. If you want 5 volt, you can use it 5 volt. If you want to switch to 3 volts, you can simply change this pin to 3 volt. If you want, you can connect data cable, USB cable also, and then you can power this power supply board. You can use this keypad to get some input, some password from the user. You get this data cable, Arduino Mega project, and then you can connect it with the computer. This is Arduino Uno board. I bought it separately, but I'm keeping it in this box. This is the shield. It doesn't have any component apart from just a reset button. If you're making some project and if you don't want to solder anything here, right, you can fix it and then you can make a project on top of it. Water level detector, access card, card reader, resistors. I got lots of resistor handy. These are jumper wires. For example, if you want to connect to some pin, you can easily connect it with this. This is Arduino Nano. I have purchased it separately. Let's imagine you purchase this magical kit and you are just one step away from making your own very first project. That one step is to download the software. Again, go to Arduino website and then go to software section, and then you will be able to download the software from here. Just click on it. If you want to contribute some money, you can contribute and download, or you can directly click on download. So once you click on it, you can see the exe file getting downloaded. Once the exe file is downloaded, you can open this exe file and then you will be able to install the software. So the software installation is very much straightforward. You will be able to do it by yourself. Once you download the software, you will be able to open the software from the desktop or from the start menu. I am opening it from the start menu. This is the icon of the software. So when you open it, this is the window you will get to see. Okay, the software is now open. I'm very excited to show you this. So let me maximize this. So this is the code editor. Here is where you will be writing the code, and after you write the code, you can click on verify button just to see in case if there are any errors. If there are no errors, you can connect the Arduino board with the computer, and then you can just click on this upload button, and then the coding will get uploaded into Arduino board. I'll show you how to connect the board with the computer in few minutes. If you want to open up a new project, you can simply click on it and then it will open a new window like this. And then if you want to open an existing project from your computer, you can click on this open. After writing the code, if you want to save it, you can simply click on save. So before uploading the software into the board, what you need to do is you just need to select the board, go to tools, and under the board make sure to select Arduino Nano. If you are purchasing Arduino Mega, then you can select Arduino Mega. So in my case, I'll select Arduino Nano. and then select one of this processor. And in case if the upload is failing, and if you are buying third-party board, you may have to sometimes select this particular processor. You also need to select the port. Once you connect the board with the computer, this option will be enabled for you. So after these three things are done, you are ready to upload your code. And the cool thing is there are so much sample codes available already. You can go to files and go to example, and then you can find lots of codes here, like some basic code, some digital code, analog code, communication, control, sensor, display, USB thing, and if you scroll down, you can see robot motor and servo motor, stepper motor. All these codes are readily available for you to access it, and then you can modify based on your project, and then you can access it easily for the learning purpose. For example, if you go to basic, you have a blink. You can blink the LED. I'll click on blink. So it opens up the code. It opens up the code for me. So it has lots of text in gray color, which means these lines will not get executed, but these are reference, or these are the notes. If you scroll down, so there are two sections. So there are two sections in the code. One is setup function, the second one is like a loop. You can configure pin whether it is an input pin or output pin. And then in a loop, you will write the actual code. This is an infinite loop, and then it will keep running. Now I am excited to show you how the coding is done. It's really fun and easy to make the projects. You will figure it out yourself shortly. I have laptop in front of me. I have opened Arduino software in my laptop, and then I have Arduino Uno board, USB cable, mini breadboard, one LED, resistor, and two jumper wires. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to write a simple program to turn on this LED and to turn off this LED, and also to blink this LED automatically. Let's get started quickly.
First, I need to choose a pin in which I'm going to connect a LED. I'm choosing pin number 3, and then I'm going to use ground pin to connect negative of the LED. This is positive and this is negative of the LED. So I've connected to pin number 3. And then I'm going to use this ground pin and then connect to LED. Then let me connect the board to the laptop. Now the Arduino is getting power from the laptop. You can see the LED in the board is on. As I mentioned before, in the Arduino coding, so there are two parts. One is the setup part, the other one is the loop part. If you want to run any line of code only once, then you can write it under the setup. If you want to run a code repeatedly, then you can write it under loop. The first thing is I am using pin number 3. So I will define pin number 3 as output. This is how you can define the pin. So it starts with pin mode, open bracket, and pin number 3, and then output. To turn on this LED, this is the code you have to write. It starts with digital drive, and then open bracket, number 3, and then the high. First you can compile the program just to check if there are any errors. So it is asking me to save it. So I will save it in the desktop. So I'm naming the file as LED blink. So that now it is compiling. You can see it says compiling sketch, and you can see also the progress bar. So compiling is done. So I am ready to load the code. I'll click on this upload button to load the code. So it says code is loading and it is done. So now the LED is on. If you want to turn off the LED, you can simply write low and then load the program. So now the LED is turned off. So if I want to blink this LED continuously, then I will use loop. This is how I will write the code. When the loop runs, it will start with high, the LED will be on, and then it will wait for 1 second, and then the LED will be low, and then it will again wait for 1 second, and again the LED will turn on, and the loop will run continuously. So let me load this program and show you. Okay, so the upload is done. You can see the LED is blinking. So if you want to blink it very fast, I have made the delay as 500, which means half a second. So now the LED will be blinking very fast. So let me make it 100 to make it even more fast. Okay, so now I will connect two LEDs. Going to use pin number 7. So when pin number 3 is high, pin number 7 needs to be low, and when pin number When pin number 3 is low, pin number 7 needs to be high. So now let me load the program. So program is done. When blue LED is on, yellow is off. When yellow is on, blue is off. So let me connect one more LED. I'm using pin number 9. This is entire code. So pin number 3, 7 and 9, I'm using it as an output. So when pin 3 is high, the other 2 pin needs to be low. And let me load this program. So now it is done. Now you can see 3 LEDs are working. So it's very easy. Okay, I'll go back to the first scenario wherein with only one LED. So this is my first scenario. So I have only one LED blinking. So now I will tell you how to write a variable. So in this case, you are mentioning pin number 3 multiple times, right? So you can define a variable like this, integer blue LED equal to 3, and then I will use the same variable in multiple places. Now you can see pin number 3, I have defined it in a variable, and then I'm using variable in all the places. In case if you want to change the pin from pin number 3 to pin number 5, so you can easily change pin number 5 in one place in a variable and then load the program. So pin number 5 will get assigned to a variable called LED blue, and that LED blue is passed everywhere. In case if you are getting error while loading the program, then go to tools and then click on this board and then see if Arduino Nano, the correct board is selected. So I'm using Arduino Nano. So here also I'm selecting Arduino Nano. Still, if it is failing, changing the processor works. Sometimes the port may not be selected. You need to select the port. Same code, you can load it into Arduino Nano as well. Go to tools, go to the board and select Arduino Nano. And then select the processor. One of them will work. Go to ports and then select one of the port. In this case the code will work because I'm using pin number 5, and the pin number 5 is available in Arduino Nano as well. So the coding will work. So same code I can load it into Arduino Mega as well. You can go to tools, go to board and select Arduino Mega from here. For example, in case if you are using pin number 50, then the pin number 50 is available only in Arduino Mega. So pin number 50 is not available in Arduino Uno, and it's not available in Arduino Nano as well. So this particular code will load only in Arduino Mega, and it will not work in Arduino Uno, and it will not work in Arduino Nano. In case if you are testing something, you can make use of the LED pin available in pin number 13. So I can change here to pin number 13 and then I can load this program. One small LED in pin number 13. Now it should start to blink. So now you can see the LED is blinking. You don't even need to connect LED to test this. You can also connect LED to pin number 13 to check it. So now the program is loaded. I can disconnect the cable from the computer. The board is now turned off. I can use a battery to power this on. So now it is working from the battery.
Now I will create some sample projects by using different components each time, so that you will come to know how exactly things are working. I'm not going into detail of this program because this is an introduction video. I'll make a detailed video in future. Please subscribe to stay in touch. Let's get started quickly. First I will use infrared sensor, and then I'm also using infrared remote. I have a simple code to turn on this LED when the up arrow is clicked and to turn off the LED when down arrow is clicked. Every button in this remote are having a unique code. You can get it in a computer and then you can configure it in a program to use any particular button. So I have used only up arrow and then the down arrow. That's it. The circuit is done. So let me connect this to computer to load the program. I'm pointing my remote to infrared sensor. There is a LED here as well, IR LED. So when I press up arrow, the LED turns on. When I press down arrow, the LED turns off. So this is the sample infrared circuit. For example, if you want to control various fans and lights in your house, you can very well use this. Instead of LED, you can attach a relay and then you can pretty much control anything in your house. Now I will use water level detector. So this detector is on. So I'm going to use a bowl here and then the water. I've included library here. It is called a new ping. To install any library, you can go to tools and then click on manage libraries and then simply type new ping and then you will have an install button here. So I have already installed, so for me the install button is disabled. Like this you can install various libraries. So library makes our life easier. So when you install library, you can easily control sensors by writing less number of codes. So this particular library is used to display a response in a serial monitor. I can display sensors output in a computer using something called a serial monitor. To open up serial monitor, you can go to tools and then click on serial monitor. This is how you will get it. So I have already loaded the program into this board. So let me pour some water.
You can see the water level is low and then the medium and then it goes to high. Now the strip is completely in water. You can see it as high. When I take it little bit out, it says medium and then low. This is the advantage of using serial prints. So we can get some information from the board into the computer. You can see the values visually. In my code, if the sensor value is less than 300, I am defining it as low. If the sensor value is between 3 to 400, I am defining it as medium. If the sensor value is more than 400, then I am defining it as high. Instead of just displaying low, medium, high, you can configure LEDs. If the value is low, you can turn on red LED. If the value is medium, you can turn on yellow LED. If the value is high, you can turn on green color LED. I'll move on to next.
So this is temperature and humidity module. The circuit is very simple. I'm just using 3 pin from sensors and then I have connected 3 pins to the board. And this is how the code is looking like. Very simple. Again, I have included DHT library. As I showed you before, you can go to tools and manage library and then simply type DTH and then install it. Then I have also loaded this program into the Arduino board. If I go to serial monitor, I can see the temperature and humidity. Temperature around me is 30 degree and the humidity is 53. Further, if you want to display this temperature in a LCD display like this, you can very well do that. For example, if you want to control the fan depending on the temperature, you can very well do it. I'll move on to next. So now I am using RFID module here and then I have some access card and then the fob key. So when I touch this, it turns it to green, which means I have the access. I can have a key here and then you can unlock the door if you want to. And then when somebody touches the wrong key, it will not give you the access. I have connected a buzzer here, so it sounds. So this also doesn't work. So only this works at the moment. So now it is not working. So let me configure this card so that I can allow the access. Now I have given access to this particular card. When I touch this, it turns on. So which means now the circuit allows access to this card. You can configure multiple access card and keys. I wanted to show you one trick here. To know where the coil is, simply turn on the flashlight in any of the mobile. Just keep it over the flashlight. You can see the lines going here. There is a line here and then line. And then you have a chip here. This is the motion sensor module. I'm using Arduino Mega here. You can also use Arduino Uno. So sensor is now connected with the board. And the next thing is I need to connect the LED. So no movement is detected, so the LED is off. If I bring any objects or my hand near the sensor, it will turn on. If there is no any further movement, then it will turn off automatically. So when it detects again any movement, so it will turn on. It's so cool, right? In this circuit, I am using ultrasonic sensor. So I have connected it. It is again a very simple circuit and the code is also not too big. So with the help of ultrasonic sensor, you can measure the distance of the object and then you can control the components easily. For example, I have configured 5 cm. If the object is less than 5 cm with the sensor, then the LED will turn on. If the object is away from more than 5 cm distance, then the LED will not turn on. So in the scale 5 cm is available here. So I'll use battery as an object. So LED is still not turned on because the object is away more than 5 cm. When the object is crossing 5 cm, meaning when the object is lesser than 5 cm, then the LED will turn on. For example, if you are creating a robotic car and if you want to detect the obstacle in front of it, and then if you want to turn right or left accordingly, you can very well do that using this ultrasonic sensor. I'll move this object more than 5 centimeters. So now the LED is turned off. So if the object is within 5 centimeter distance, then the LED will turn on. I'm using photoresistor in this circuit. This is the photoresistor. So when there is a less light, I'm going to turn on this LED, and when there is more light, I'm going to turn off this LED. I'm going to power this board with the battery. Yeah, it is working. As you can see, when I block the light to the photoresistor, the LED is turning on. When I move my hand, when there is a full light on the photoresistor, the LED is off. With this, you can make an automatic outdoor light. During the night time, you can turn on the light, and when it is a day, you can turn off the light. As you can see, board is not connected to the computer. It is now working as a standalone board. That's because I have loaded the program already into this board, and the program is now in the memory. I don't need computer cable always. When you load another different program, that time this particular program will get erased. Until then, you can use this circuit board. You can load the same code into various Arduino boards like Arduino Nano and Arduino Mega. So in this example, I am going to show you how you can communicate with the Arduino board when the program is running. You can pass on some instruction from your computer to this Arduino board when the program is running. That's it, the circuit is completed. It is very simple. I'm connecting the board with the computer. I have loaded this particular program. I'm not going into detail of this program because this is an introduction video. I'll make a detailed video in future. Please subscribe to stay in touch. I'm going to turn on these LEDs from the computer. So I'll go to tools. I'll open the serial monitor. And this is the serial monitor. It is asking me to enter the input. When I type R and hit enter, so red color LED is glowing. And when I say Y for yellow, so yellow color LED is glowing. And when I say G for green, the green color LED is glowing. I have written a program to get these types of inputs and to turn on the LEDs accordingly. So it's really cool, right? You can control your components from the computer. Now I will use stepper motor. Okay, now the motor is running. So I have written a program to rotate it clockwise and also to anti-clockwise automatically. So the advantage of using stepper motor is you can control the number of steps exactly it has to rotate. If you use a normal DC motor which are available in a toy, you cannot actually control the rotation. It will keep spinning. And the torque of the motor is also very high. In this example, I am using servo motor. So the advantage of using servo motor is, so you can rotate it based on the angle. So I have written a code to go to 90 degree and then come back to 0 degree automatically. So it is now in 0 degree, and then it will rotate it until 90 degree, and then it will wait for 3 seconds, and then it will come back to 0 degree. So like that, you can rotate it to 45 degree, 90 degree or 180 degree, and then again you can come back to 0 degree. The servo motor has only 3 pins, and then 3 pins are connected to the board. I hope you enjoyed my video. Since it is an introduction video, I have explained you basics of the coding. So in future, I am planning to make more real-time projects and house automation. Subscribe to stay in touch. I also make unique arts and crafts creativity videos. I hope you will enjoy watching those videos as well. And I also make technical videos like this. So if you like the video, please don't forget to hit a like button. So one question to you guys. So what project do you want to make when you get a new Arduino board? Let me know in comments. If you have already done a project, that also you let me know in comment. I will be very much interested to read your comments. See you in next video. Bye.